Oh, I did hear about this, and I think I saw Zepla's talking about it. What cheating actually looks like in Final Fantasy XIV with Asmongold. I think he's reacting to oh Xenos. Okay, so let's take a look.
Site buckled under Race to World First traffic spike. The Race to World First page currently has more concurrent viewers than all previous races across both Warcraft logs and Final Fantasy logs, but has scaled up and is okay now. So
What does that mean?
means that a lot of people were paying attention to this Final Fantasy World First race.
Oh, that I thought that was the case, but they phrased it in such a fucking weird way that it was hard for me to really understand what they were talking about. So,
Which turned out to be a bad thing for the people that got first place.
yes.
So,
When I was told they used like what someone used add-ons or something like that so they could see the mechanics easier, I think.
what does that mean? That means that we had a, these were the people that were doing the fight here. So they cleared the raid. Good for them. Grats on the quote clear. No logs, no VOD. For a region that likes to jump on other regions' shit for cheating, and you come out of nowhere like this, and with a 9th, 10th, and 11th player, proof or disqualify, this smells like Billy Mitchell. Uh-oh.
That is not
It's
good.
not good.
Yeah.
So this is the clear.
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Crazy. What the fuck?
Woo!
Damn, so
Yo, I
they're
bet he could have zoomed that motherfucker out even more.
Oh my god.
I bet he could have made that whole arena 1 pixel.
Wow.
This is
Yeah.
what's gonna happen when Yoshi P sees this.
That's what it seems like, yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Didn't he release a statement like he was just actually pretty pissed off?
I know. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
Look at the parser list. There's more players than the raid allows.
You can't stop him, man.
Hey.
They're going crazy. It's pandemonium, dude. We're on the moon now. You just can't stop it. And it's a sad day. But it's also a good day for me, because now that these motherfuckers cleared, they're probably going to release the video, and I'm going to use their footage to clear, because I want to get the fuck out of this fight, because fuck you. This fight is too hard. This is bullshit. You said this was supposed to be easier than DSR, and it's fucking not. It's way fucking harder. So you know what?
Jesus.
Is it hard?
I can't even talk to you right now. Can't even talk to you right now.
Okay. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Is that the ban list? Man. So, basically, the people that were doing the world first for Final Fantasy were cheating, effectively.
Yeah.
Zooming all the way out like that.
It's not the worst cheat they could have used. Like, I don't think it's like super bad, but at the same time, any cheating is bad in a world first race, especially if you're going to try to claim credit.
Hardest fight to date? Not for them. Problem solved. Yep, there you go. They just zoom out. Race to cheater for world first. I'm sorry, but how does this help? I don't know, but apparently it does. So this was...
What do you mean? How does it help? You can see how the mechanics, overall, like everything about the battlefield, like it's super helpful. If you're in world first, like if you're progressing, like knowing exactly what's happening at like across the board like that is just way helpful. It's not as like, it's not God mode or anything like that, but like a bad team's not going to get all of a sudden good with it, but a good team, it will be great with it.
So bad and so problematic that effectively this is what happened. Holy shit, I played the game for 10 years. I've never seen Square Enix and its GM take such drastic action. They are literally removing all achievements, gear, and also the title from the associates of the, quote, world first team, despite them not being directly found of cheating because of the video.
I think it makes sense though.
Yeah, fuck them. That's my viewpoint on it too.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to do this,
Like if you had a teammate you knew were cheating, and like even if like you had to know he was cheating, right? Like it didn't make sense otherwise.
I mean, that's just what happens. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, that's life. So even Yoshi P made a comment on this. I'm trying to find out where it is. There's like so many of these things I got up on the screen. I don't know where it is.
He always has like
Is it
50
that
tabs,
one?
dude. I don't know how he
No,
does
it's
that.
not that one. It's not this one. Oh man, I feel like I might have missed it. Well, anyway, let's see if I can find it again. It should be on the front of Reddit, right? And let me see, top probably of the week, right? Check Final Fantasy. I'll probably look at it. Oh yeah, here it is. Yoshi P responds to the world first Omega Ultimate hack drama. So this is what Yoshi P said. The Ultimate Raid series is the most difficult battle content within Final Fantasy XIV, and we released this content after testing that it can be cleared without the use of third-party tools. However, if the presumption is that this content will be tackled and cleared with the use of third-party tools, then any reason to develop high-difficulty battle content seems to be lost. It's very difficult for me to understand as a gamer what the meaning is behind using numerous third-party tools to complete the world first would be. I want to apologize specifically to the many of you who are continuing towards this content without the use of third-party tools, consistently streaming your progress and continuing to trial and error process. However, please know that the development and operations teams take notice of all your passion. Be sure to take proper care of yourselves as you continue to tackle the Omega Protocol Ultimate. If the illicit use of third-party tools is made clear through our investigations, I, at the very least, will not recognize that team as the true world first. So he basically said, fuck him.
Yeah.
He said, fuck him. It's not legit. They didn't do it. It's fake.
I mean, he didn't just say fuck him. He said, he looked over to the guy next to him and was like, take care of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like all their items, like their achievements. Like, yeah, it wasn't just like, oh, you know, fuck off. It was more like, no, you're about to get fucked.
And that's it. So he's pissed? Of course he's pissed. You got people cheating in the game. Here's the problem, right? Is if you got people cheating in the game like this all the time, if you don't fucking shit on them, then everybody else is going to be cheating on the next one.
Exactly.
I at the very least not recognize, yeah, rightfully so. Yeah, exactly. It's not even a question. They got so they got everything taken away from them, man. Base, tell you what you want. That's a base chat answer. It is.
I think they should have gotten a temporary ban.
Racers need to stream. All the top teams clearing off stream are obviously tool assisted, and there are way worse add-ons than Zoom Hack at their disposal. I absolutely fucking agree. And you got to keep in mind, this is the reason why people cheat. See, Yoshi P might not really be thinking at it from this direction, but think about it like this. Who wants to watch the third clear? Nobody. Everybody's going to want to watch the people that beat it first, because that gives you the most notoriety and that gives you the most attention. So people are trying to clear it as fast as possible, even if it means cheating, because that's going to attract as much as much attention to them, which then that attention is transmuted in the alchemical process of clouding into money. Okay?
Yeah, but I don't think they were streaming it, right? I could be wrong, but it wasn't like an actual live stream. Because it would make more sense in that sense, like if you're trying to advertise your stream and you were like the first team to win World First, but I don't know if that Well, it is the same thing here.
So that's why. And they got bullied and shunned by the community to quit and delete the game and their characters? Yeah, nobody fucking likes a cheater, man. Xeno has a short new video. Yeah, we'll watch it. I'll take a look into this. I'll watch that in a bit. Oh my god, I'll look at that. Give me a minute. Where's the rest of these? That's a 2 fucking hour video about G4? Holy fuck, what is this? Oh my god. Yeah, let me see this.
Oh, I didn't know Zelda had like a next gen. I'm assuming that's like fan made, but looks pretty cool. I'll check it out.
14. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna look at this real quick.
Wasn't that the video he just saw?
I just want to make sure that, yeah, this is the video. Let's watch it real quick. Arthur's have one too. Well, let's take a look and see what it is. This the third video? Nah, we already looked at that. Yoshi P statement? No, it like we already watched this.
Emboldened.
Damn, look at that angle. Oh, bro.
Oh wow, the colors.
Oh man. Wow, look at that, bro. You know what this looks like? World of Warcraft.
Is that what it looks like? I don't know what it was reminding me of. I don't think World of Warcraft would have been the game. I almost think... What was it? Gauntlet? I think is almost kind of like the color scheme. But either way, like you can... This is giving you way more information.
3.
Wait, it even has the same fucking TTS. Oh my god.
Tether 4.
This,
wow.
yeah, the gaming.com apparently. Wow.
Wow, they still live. What the fuck? So
Yep.
it's got zoom hack. It's got, this might be
The
like auto
rotation bot.
rotation.
Yeah.
I've never used any of this shit, so I don't know. There was a program I used on stream. People wanted me to try it, where whenever I hit a button on stream, it would show you what button that I hit, like a time.
Oh yeah, World of Warcraft has this. I actually wish that add-on was available, or there was a plugin available for that, so people could actually see the buttons and the inputs that players do. But it's like, as soon as you, the thing is, like, they can never really let you do that, because like you once you let people do a little bit of it, then it's just like, where's the line? You know?
Does there need to be a line? I mean, I don't see the big deal.
Timeline, like whatever I hit,
use SQ,
you
yeah,
guys would
yeah.
see
I mean,
in
it would
this
be cool
bar,
to
but I
have.
don't think this is it. Yeah, it's not like any type of auto bot or anything like that. It literally just, whatever button I hit, even if I fat finger it, it'll just go up there. It's more for like stream, I guess. Anyway, so this is the timeline thing. I've seen this before. So this basically tells
official.
you like what exactly is happening and when. So like this blaster's in 28. Obviously zoom hack. What is this? Skill timers, okay, or spell timers. Parser.
I love how like the Final Fantasy community looks at this as like this like fucking absolute like abuse of power. This is just like,
and yet all of this is normal for Warcraft, pretty much, except for the auto combo thing.
Unequivocal like fucking cheating, like just shameless manipulation of the game. Just something to be shamed of completely. Like, you should quit the game for how disgusting you are. And then in World of Warcraft, it's like, oh, okay, so you have the weak aura for that? Okay, good. You have your damage meter?
Yep.
Got it. Okay, you've got your rotation bot? Yep, of course. Okay, this is your input commands. And then, oh yeah, that's your handy notes for, you know, the fight itself, or, you know, your RT raid add-on. Yeah, for WoW, this is the minimum that you need. You at least need this in order to raid in WoW.
Or even get into the raid.
Notes. End of P2 LB3 defamation.
Yeah, this is a normal mode raider.
Holy fuck, man.
In World of
I don't
Warcraft.
know what this one is down here. Maybe one.
What's sad is he's not even really wrong. Like, that's legit what it is.
Auto rotation. I have no idea, man. Holy fuck, dude, this is insane.
I think that's what keeps a lot of people from raiding.
Yep. See that? They're smart. They get out with those circles, those blue circles.
This is Splatoon. At least I
Y'all
think
see
this
that?
is Splatoon. See these like
Bro, it does look like Splatoon, actually. Like the fucking, that game. There's like all these bright colors and like splashes of color everywhere. It does.
yeah, like tells you where to go and
Worse
shit,
than
man. It's
Arkham Week
fucking
Wars?
crazy.
Yeah.
This is the shit people are using, man. Yeah, like it's funny because like people are giving
Like, let's compare this. That's actually really funny. Let's compare this to Arkham. Mythic Archimond. Let's see, which guilds did this first? Did Method use the add-on? Let me see if they did or not.
The Legion comes.
Let's see if they did. I'm trying to remember. Where the hell is this?
It doesn't really look like.
Let me see. I gotta find it.
Succumb to my corruption. The land.
Where's the beams? Where's the fucking beams? Like, I feel like there's gotta be. When the fuck are the beams happening? Do I not see it?
Coming.
Yeah, I
The
forgot even when they
pitiful
happened on the
child.
screen.
Where is it, Ken?
Yeah, what was it even called? Right after the fire? Was that it? Oh. Wait, nah, no shot. That was it.
The Legion will fall.
Where is it, Ken?
That's just where the fire goes around.
The
Yeah,
light
that's not it.
will not fail.
Is it Rock
I
Chaos?
grow tired of this pointless game.
Yes. Okay, here we go. All right, so basically, if you look right here, this is an official UI for the world first kill of Mythic Archimond. So what it did is it used an add-on to triangulate the location of every single player that would use these different circles so they could move themselves in a location that they would not get hit by these beams. So, like, watch how this happens.
I noticed it earlier because it was like a circle earlier, so I wasn't sure if it was the same thing, but yeah, that's definitely basically the same thing, just not implemented as well.
So they get inside of that, and then people hyper adjust or like micro adjust, and they avoid every single one with this add-on. You see how this add-on tells them exactly how to stand and where to go?
You taker.
It's not first kill, it's second kill. Well, it says Mythic World first. I don't know. Who cares?
3.
Look at that. Right there, rangefinder.
Now.
So keep in mind, guys,
Times.
this is the world first. These guys are great. They're amazing. The best players. Completely authentic.
And
They
no one's
hate
calling them
us because they
cheaters.
ain't us.
Yeah.
Good players only. Best WoW guild. Final Fantasy. Cheaters.
Yep.
Cheating. The best guild. Cheating. Again. The best guild. Mm-hmm. But that's too far. Bro, why you trying to make excuses about that shit? Like, what do you think? You think that they actually planned out Mythic Jailer to be done by somebody with no add-ons?
Yeah, but it's also a case where, I mean, they even say it. Like, Final Fantasy designs their games without the use of add-ons, while World of Warcraft designs their raids. I said games, right? I meant raid. With the use of add-ons. So, I mean, WoW kind of accepts that people are using add-ons, which I don't think they should. Because obviously, for those who don't really want to use add-ons, it feels like you're punishing them. You know what I mean?
Get your head out of your ass. Add-ons make the game worse. In WoW, like combat add-ons make the
Yep.
game worse.
the world first team like so much shit, which I mean, yeah, they got caught zoom hacking, but like people don't understand that a zoom hack that's not even like as deep as it goes. Like, you know,
Yep.
that's just the tip of the iceberg.
It
Like
is.
this shit right here is
Yeah.
way fucking worse.
I think
like
it's
people
way
think a
worse, too,
zoom hack
yeah.
is like just auto cheat. Like if you use auto win. If you use a zoom hack, you just auto win, and that's not
It is
true at
auto
all.
cheat.
But like, holy fuck, man, like this stuff, Jesus Christ, holy fuck.
And even this one, you saw they wiped. So this is also not an auto win. It just helps. It lowers the difficulty. That's all it does.
Yeah, this is insane.
It's still
I
cheating.
mean, but the thing is, guys, like I know this looks really bad, and it is really
Mhm.
bad. But the thing is like according to Square Enix,
Well, it says here add-ons will be used no matter what. Clear example with the Final Fantasy World First. Bro, just because people are gonna use them doesn't mean that like Blizzard should let people do it in WoW. Of course, bro, like people are gonna bot. That doesn't mean botting is okay in the game. People are
Exactly.
gonna like
It's a dumb
say
argument.
uh
Because it's like it's fine. Even people like wanting to do these raids with add-ons and stuff, I actually don't see that big of an issue. The problem is when you get into the competition of it, where it's like the world first. That to me is when I draw the line.
the N-word. That doesn't mean saying it is okay in game. People are going to buy gold. That doesn't mean RMT is okay. Like, what do you mean? Like, just because people are going to do something, you should allow it? No, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it makes sense in some circumstances, sure, but this just isn't one of them.
this is on the same level as a beard mod. Remember that. That's Square Enix's mentality because they won't take a stance on it. Or sorry, they have taken a stance on it. If a beard mod is against TOS, it is against TOS. And what is this? Against TOS. It's the same. That's how dumb it is. So I want you to remember that. Like the next time you load up your game,
I don't think so. Because Square Enix has never been more strict, or the punishment was never so severe than this right here that I've ever heard of. It's not like I'm a big, like, I know everything about Final Fantasy, but at the same time, I've never heard of them doing something like this.
using the 14 launcher, not the official one. Whenever you use the 14 launcher, Dalamon, I want you to remember that that is just as bad as this shit in Square Enix's eyes. I want you to remember that because that's literally what they said. Anything.
I mean, the thing is,
They have to say it, but at the same time, their actions speak louder. And that many people do it. They did not get their shit taken away from them.
have to have a hardline stance because if they don't, then you're always going to have people that are going to try to push the envelope. So it's one of those things where like everybody knows that this is a lot worse than like a fucking a G shader or some sort of like graphics pack. Nobody, a beard mod. Yeah, nobody really thinks that these are equal. Square Enix knows they're not equal. But they have to treat them as if they're equal because if they don't, then you're always going to have the players, well, what about this one? So because of this one, because you did this thing, and well, the other email, the mod was so, well, so, because that one kind of let you do the same thing, and then our mod works kind of the same way, but, like, it's not really exactly like that because it, allows you to, like, hack the game a little bit, but, like, not a lot. That's, like, only 10% of the mod. The rest of it is just, like, so, you see what I'm saying? Like, you just can't do it.
Especially with something like mods. Because mods, mods are all over the place. You know what I mean? Can affect gameplay, can affect visuals. I have a mod for Final Fantasy that lets me play it with a controller. You know what I mean? So it's like, they're just all over the place. So you can't really have like this vague line. It has to be like, nope, all or nothing, really. And even then, it's like they even say like as long as you're not like streaming it with it and like just showing it off, like they really don't care. Or if you're like, badgering people with a DPS meter, like you're calling people out in your group, they don't care if you have a DPS meter. Just don't freaking use it to annoy people with it.
You can't fucking, it's got nothing to do with console players. You can't do it because the moment that you let this happen, everybody, all bets are off.
Third party. anything third party. Yo, you know what? If enough traction gets, maybe they'll add this shit in the game. That's what they tend to do. They tend to ban people that use this and then add it in the game later. Oh, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll see Splatoon later.
I feel like there's a 0% shot that this is ever going to be in the game.
Nope.
Like, chat bubbles is a great example. Somebody brought this up. Preach Gaming used chat bubbles mod. I also think that chat bubbles should be in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
This is something that was in Maple Story. I think it's in RuneScape too.
What the heck? Did Asman play Maple Story? I didn't know that. But yeah, no, definitely agree. I think chat bubbles are great. I don't know why any MMO wouldn't have them. I think it just adds to the MMO vibe of the game.
It's in WoW. Like, it should be in the game.
Absolutely.
Now, just because it should be in the game.
Also, the fact that a mod is able to do it shows that there's no reason why Square Enix can't put it in there.
Like, I don't think that... It's just like, it's so nuanced, because it's like, if you're not a streamer, and you're using add-ons, and these are like just cosmetic add-ons that don't give you any extra level of awareness like this is, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't. And I don't think
agree.
Square Enix thinks it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But if you stream the add-ons, they have to take action because it's against the rules. They have to do it, because if they don't, then...
And the thing is, this is a perfect example of what you're looking in front of you, is if you say, oh, it's cosmetic only or appearance only, what is in front of you? A lot of that is just appearance. Like, it's just changing the visuals of the game. You could argue that, basically. Obviously, they're, basically doing some mental gymnastics to try to say that, but at the same time, it is true that it is visually impacting. It's not playing the game for you, at least, some of the stuff. But that's the problem, is that you can't have this vague line, oh, some things are accepted, some things are not. It's no, all or nothing. Makes it just easy. That way Square Enix can determine the punishments, in a sense, what will happen to you. That will be determined. It's no rule on what happens to you, right? So they can either give you a temporary ban or a suspension or whatever you want to call it. Or a permanent ban if it's, aggressive. Wow. Okay, I'm so bad with speaking today. I think it's because I'm thinking aggressive. Grievous. Or maybe I'm just adding a word in. Grievous? Anyways, I'm going off topic here. Yeah, if it's really bad, basically, they can give you a permanent ban.
They're not following their own rules, and then everything is chaos.
Yep.
They have to do it. So you're making them do it. It's not even a question.
Maybe we'll be able to play from the moon. Yeah, I don't know. This is insane, though.
Tower 2.
Stream means you're advocating its use? Well, it means that it's okay.
Oh, I see. This is the recommended rotation. Okay.
Because you can logically assume that I think people that are doing something on stream, you can assume that what they are doing on stream is not against the rules of the game. That somebody is not going live and cheating unless...
Yeah, if you're streaming a shooter game and you had aimbot or what was the wall hacks and stuff like that, or any kind of mod of any kind that fundamentally will change the game. Not fundamentally, but I can't think of any game that allows you to just use mods while streaming other than WoW.
Unless Clara, downloaded aimbot onto their PC while they weren't playing. This is an assumption that a lot of people could come to. I think that's fair.
Okay.
He can't. Yeah, he has to be. Yeah, it's just realistically they can't do that. This is a Dark Knight. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a Dark Knight. I'm just looking at the ability.
Tether 4.
Dude, look how far he zoomed out, man. Holy shit.
It's at this point you're not even really playing the game.
you're playing a whole different game. You're still playing a game, but it's like it's not Final Fantasy at this point.
Holy fuck, man, that's insane. What's my
Yeah.
stance on design ultimates with mods in mind? Okay, like, look, I just want to say this. I think this ultimate's too fucking hard. Like, this ultimate's too hard.
Maybe it is too hard, but I will also say that if you can't design them with mods in mind because mods change.
That, and you're basically forcing people who would play mods with or don't want to get mods to get mods if they want to play the game, which is not good.
It would be impossible for them to do that. Because like at what point is a mod and at what point is it a hack?
Yeah,
Because
that's a
you're
fine
gonna
line.
if mods are allowed, you're gonna also have people hacking and doing things that
Yeah.
create extra levels of awareness. Like in my opinion, I think anything that increases your combat awareness inside of an encounter in a video game, whether this is Final Fantasy or WoW, whether it's like a tracker, an indicator, a list, a like a fucking like awareness thing, like it plays an air horn whenever a mechanic happens, any of that stuff is all bad. I think everybody
Yeah.
knows that like cosmetic, like even nude add-ons, like who gives a fuck, who cares? But this stuff is actually bad.
And I would actually kind of disagree to an extent. Not that I disagree it's bad. I do agree it's bad. My thing is more like I don't care if you use it outside of world first competitions. If you want to raid and you want to have these mods, fine. You know what I mean? I don't think it should be like good. You shouldn't be able to stream it. Like you should get banned for that. But at the same time, I'm just not someone who cares too much about it because it's not affecting me like in any way. I don't think it's affecting. Even if I was in the raid with the person doing it, I don't see how that would be a negative impact on me as a player, unless they like told me I had to download it to go to the raid or something like that. And I guess in a sense I would be bad. But outside of that, it's like I don't care. Just like I don't care when people cheat in single player games. Like it's maybe because I don't see like achievements in MMOs as like anything to be proud about. I mean, it's a game. Have fun with it. If you have cool armor, cool. You look cool. Great for you. But I've never been like seeing someone with cool armor and was like, oh, he probably cheated. It's more like, oh, cool armor. I don't care about what happened behind the scenes. Like, maybe I'm just different like that though.
I thought DSR was the hardest. I thought that was the hardest that they should ever make it. So let me just say that right away. I
Pause.
think that this was
Interrupt
way too hard.
one.
However, to answer your question, I don't think that they should ever design fights around mods. I don't think so because then you'll have like
Yep,
WoW shit.
agreed.
I don't think I'd want that in my game.
Yeah, he
or
knows.
my game. I don't think
He
that
knows.
I would want that in the game that I play. I'm not saying it's bad. So if you love the way
It
WoW
is bad.
raids are
No,
designed,
I'm saying it's bad. I think it's fucking garbage.
World of Warcraft, super good example because that's what they do, and it's fucking terrible, man.
It's absolute fucking trash. I wish Blizzard
Yeah.
would make all combat add-ons, DBM, big wigs, weak auras, all of it, disable it completely.
Yep.
then that's great.
And that's not coming from me who like doesn't really care too much about it. But if Blizzard came out and did that, where they are like, yeah, this stuff is just no longer allowed, you will get banned for it, I'd be okay with it because I don't use it. I'm just don't care if other people use it, as long as they're not trying to force me to use it, which is the case with WoW raiding. I don't know about Dragonflight, but definitely was in Legion and stuff where like the guild I joined, they were like, oh yeah, you gotta download this, you gotta download that. I'm just like, oh, okay, fine. Like I don't really want to, but it's needed.
I'm not saying they're bad, man. I
Or
don't
expected.
play WoW enough to care about it.
That's
you know?
what I
But
think.
I just don't want Final Fantasy to be like that, in my opinion. Like basically, you should never need like Splatoon to do
Yep.
any of this shit. However, I do think that they should put a fucking
Max
parser
hates
in the
weak
game
auras?
because
Well, that's what's so funny about it is like it's like steroids in sports. If you made steroids in sports legal, every single person in sports would be using steroids. Do you
Yep.
know why? It's because they work. And they work extremely fucking well. So, of course,
Exactly.
Max hates weak auras. Because now they have to pay somebody real money You think that these fucking world first guilds would have somebody on the payroll and all they do is develop weak auras? You think they just did that because it's, Max's second cousin Vinny, and Vinny's out of a job because he's an alcoholic, so we put him on the team to design add-ons that nobody
Vinny.
uses? Bro, no shot. Like, Vinny's in there doing work. Vinny's in there making it happen. Like, nobody wants to deal with that shit.
It's really bullshit when they put DPS checks in a game that doesn't have a parser. It's just ridiculous to me. I just don't agree with that mentality. Like,
When he says parser, is he talking about the damage meter? I don't know. Like, I've always been on the fence with damage meters, because it's like, outside of the hardest content in the game, it just doesn't make sense for it. You know what I mean? I do think that there should be a damage meter in the game, but it only affects your damage. And that way, like if you're doing raids like he's talking about, like the high-end raids where there are damage checks and they want to make sure everyone's kind of dishing out the damage, is you should be able to kind of link your damage into the chat voluntarily. You know what I mean? Like as in, like your group leader is going to ask where you should put it out, but it shouldn't be a case where they can just get that information without your you doing it, basically. So no, I think that would be a good way around it, is have like your own damage as a meter, like you can kind of watch it, and then post it yourself. But I don't think it should be allowed to have it where you can see everyone's. It makes sense though in terms of what he's saying. I just feel like it's a slippery slope, and that if you allowed it, it would just be misused across the board. So for it to be used at this top 0.1% of players so that their runs are a little easier is also just kind of dumb.
I understand SC doesn't want people to be toxic and shit, but like ACT is the least of their concerns. ACT would help a lot of players improve. I think it would. Don't get me wrong, it would also bring a little bit of toxicity too, but people are overreacting when they're like, if you put a parser in the game, everybody's going
I don't think Xenos knows enough to say whether that's true or not. I don't think really anyone would know. So I don't think Square Enix should take the chance. Like, it's not worth it. Like I said, we're talking about like the 0.1% of the players who do this kind of content. So should you gamble it, that could affect, I would say, at least probably 30 to 50% of the players in a negative way, to get a positive for these 0.5% of players, or 0.1%. I don't know. Could be 1%. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's just like there's such a crazy small number who would benefit from it that it's just not worth the risk. At least in my opinion.
to be elitist. Dude, everybody's already a fucking elitist, man, especially fucking filthy ass casual motherfuckers.
I can't really speak to this because like I don't really play Final Fantasy at the high end. So like I don't really know like what it would be like if they added this into Final Fantasy, but I can tell you in WoW that nobody plays to kill the fight. Everybody plays to kill the meters.
Yep.
Nobody cares about actually doing.
That's what I was kind of saying. Like, Xenos doesn't know enough, but if we look at other examples of it being okay, like, what is it, Lost Ark as well, it breeds that kind of player where they're all about that number. They're chasing that number.
Good damage, or it's actually performing mechanics properly. People only care about doing good damage and looking good on the meters.
Have we ever played with one of them?
It's
Holy
awful.
shit, man. They're so entitled, man. Jesus Christ. Nobody in this game sucks. Because if you say you suck, then you're going to get banned. So nobody in this game sucks. They already tune fights around DPS checks. Just put a fucking parser in the game, you know, for the community. I also think that they should, like, okay some mods, right? Like UI mods, like animation change mods, like mods that don't actually affect any gameplay or anything. It's just like a cosmetic thing. They shouldn't ban you for that. Because
I don't think that they can. I think that realistically...
Yeah, because the problem is they're going to design mods that skirt that line as close as fucking possible. And then, like that's the problem. Is Square Enix doesn't want to have this argument. They shouldn't have to either. So just ban them all. It just makes more sense.
As much as it would logically make sense that some of this stuff was okay, and I think that we can generally agree that a lot of cosmetic mods are harmless and they don't matter.
Yeah.
You can't open that door because people will never know when to close it, and there is no logical line that you can draw. Because that you can look at
Everyone has a
like
different
5
logic.
minutes, 48 seconds.
Or at least
You will
they'll
have
try
people
to.
saying this is only cosmetic. It's not playing the game for you. It's not doing anything. It is a cosmetic add-on.
That's what I was saying earlier.
100% say that.
Yep.
So they literally can't do that because then everything is cosmetic at that point. Twisted logic argument, it is.
But people will make
Because SC
It's
just
in
says
bad
no
faith,
to
yes.
all mods. They'll ban you for a beard mod is the same as they'll ban you for all that fucking bullshit.
And
that we
they
just
have to
watched.
do that.
But then again, I don't really.
Even though
I
I'm
don't really
sure
give
they
a
don't
shit
want
about third
to.
Party, man, I really don't. The older I get, man, the less I care about irrelevant shit. I don't try to police anybody that plays this game. But I understand, like, I'm in kind of a privileged position, right? I don't have to give a shit, right? Like, this isn't my game. So you have to kind of, like, look at it from SE's perspective, you know?
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's not really the player. Like, why the fuck does the player care about this shit?
And like whenever I think about it from SE's perspective, I genuinely think that they just don't want to add anything because they don't want to make it for console. They don't want to spend the time and the resources to make it for console, and they can't.
I don't think it has anything to do with console. So I think Xenos is kind of dumb. I'm not like trying to say he's dumb. I'm just like, dude, you didn't really. You're trying to see it from their perspective, but obviously you're seeing it in a very weird perspective. I've never. Why would they give a shit about consoles? There are games on consoles with mods. So I don't think that's a good argument. Like, I think, what was it, Skyrim? Like, has like a little mod store you can go to. And I'm sure other games have it as well. So I don't think that's a good argument at all. But seeing it from a mod's point of view, or I'm sorry, the developer, Square Enix point of view, that is how you want to see it when it comes to this kind of stuff. I just think Zeno's got it way wrong. I just think that it's not worth the amount of effort it would take for Square Enix when they have to go through each time someone gets reported for a mod. They have to say, okay, well, is this actually good? Is it bad? Like, and how they have to justify it. It's like, no, just they get reported. They see it's a mod. Hey, ban, easy. You know what I mean? Maybe warning. If it's not a, because that's what I'm saying. I don't think they have rules on the punishments, but they have rules on the trigger.
And have something.
I think it has nothing to do with that personally. I think it has everything to do with the fact that if you open the door just a little bit, everything's going to go through.
Yep.
On PC and not on console. That's why they're so fucking adamant about this.
No, because from what I understand, they were always like this, and they've never mentioned consoles being the reason. But I remember Yoshi P talking about it, and he just didn't even want to have the conversation. You know what I mean? Whether it's good or bad, he's just like, look, you can have whatever thing you want, just don't bully people and don't hack, basically. So obviously that's not like a console thing.
Fucking bullshit, you know. Oh, you need to clear with the default, all this shit, man.
Yeah, it's
when it
Pandora's
comes like
box,
in terms of that, like they're kind of out of touch. I feel like they're out of touch because like the base UI is, I don't know, man. It's gotten a lot.
I think that's true. It seems like the base UI could use a lot of improvements.
I agree.
Like, I don't know why Square Enix doesn't do better improvements on the UI.
To be fair, most MMOs don't. WoW just barely started making their UI better, so I don't know what's worse. Like, I think, doesn't Square Enix have a better UI than WoW right now? So I don't know.
I think,
like, who has the best UI in among the MMOs? Isn't it Final Fantasy? I could be wrong though.
that would also, I think
Like, even if you're the best, you should still always be trying to improve.
Final Fantasy has it looks dated. And it doesn't look dated in a way that, like, RuneScape looks dated in an endearing way. It just...
RuneScape does not look dated in an endearing way unless you played RuneScape and were into it. To me, RuneScape looks like garbage. I never want to play it just because of how bad it looks. Do I think the game is bad? Absolutely not. I would assume the game is great. It's just when I look at it, I have zero interest in playing it.
Just looks dated, period. And that's because it is. Yes, it is. It is dated. Now, World of Warcraft circumvents this problem because they have so many add-ons and mods. And other games circumvent that because they're newer.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy has add-ons and mods too. You just can't stream it. So it's like a streamer-only issue.
But I do think Final Fantasy does look uniquely dated in a way that even WoW doesn't. And I think a big part of that is the UI. I think the UI...
I don't actually agree with Asmon here. I don't think Asmon ever really messed with the UI in Final Fantasy enough to actually have an informed opinion on this. Only because maybe that's the case. Like, I haven't played Final Fantasy in a bit, but I recall you could do quite a bit with it. To the point that WoW's new one is now catching up to Final Fantasy. But I still don't think it's there. I think, actually, it might be. I think they both look bad. Gonna be straight up honest. No mods involved. Final Fantasy, I think it's either above or the same as WoW, in terms of the looks of it, because it's basically the same thing. You have HP, MP, or whatever MP you kind of have. Debuffs, you can move that if I recall right. So it's like it's basically the same thing. Like, I'm not sure what UI looks better for this kind of MMO where you have a bunch of abilities, so you need a bunch of, icons on the screen. Like, what game really pulls it off well? I can't think of a single one off the top of my head without mods. Because mods, I mean, they make it look nicer. That's really all it is. It's still kind of the same thing. They just look nice. Yeah, maybe someone can bring it up. If you can, if you know a game that is like Final Fantasy and WoW, where you have like 20 plus freaking things you can press, and have it still look new, like not new, but like modern, I guess might be the right word there. Because I don't see how you do it other than making it just look prettier, like how the mods do it, and add-ons. I'm sorry, I should say add-ons more than anything. I'm not sure.
The UI for this game is horrible.
I would disagree.
Better though. I think the base UI is
Man, the fact that they can
Like, New World UI is better. World of Warcraft UI.
New World doesn't have anywhere near the complexity of Final Fantasy. And if he says World of Warcraft's UI is better, I'm actually going to call bullshit.
is better.
Nope. Absolute bullshit. Because World of Warcraft's UI is basically identical. You have the mini map in the top right hand side. You have the action bars that you can move around, and only recently can move around the way the add-ons were allowing you to, which from what I understand, Final Fantasy has had that for quite a while. So debuffs are basically the same thing. Like, other than its own artistic style, it's kind of identical. So I actually would disagree with Asmon on that.
I would say Lost Ark UI is even probably better.
Lost Ark UI. I actually don't like Lost Ark's UI. I think it made it feel kind of weird. But at the same time, it wasn't bad. I think it's because Lost Ark's UI gets weird when you got classes like the Gunner, where is it the Gunner? I forget what the class name is, where you change between weapons like pistol, shotgun, sniper, and it would change it up, like, and that really threw me off with how the action bars worked with it. Other than that, I think it was kind of the same, right? It just only had like 6 abilities or 8, which is really not much.
It doesn't look that good.
I think it needs to be better, actually. I do. It's okay. I don't
And
think it's
all
bad,
bad
but
ones
there's like
is-
a lot of little stuff that I wish you could do. Like there's a lot of little
She was
stuff.
perfectly covering the other
Like I'll
ones.
give you an
Yeah.
example,
Shit.
right? Like so if you look on my buff bar, okay? Like all of my buffs, so like my Storm's Eye, my inner release,
Yeah.
I want to make those buffs bigger than the other buffs. Like basically I want to be able to very easily tell
And like this is a logical thing that would improve his experience. Because for example, like that right there is a defensive cooldown. I can guarantee you that the defensive cooldown is more important than knowing that he has 49 minutes left on his food buff. Or that he has his tank stance on, for example.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. But is WoW any different? From what I understand, you can't change certain buff size. You can change the overall sizes of everyone, but you can't change certain ones. So, but no, I would definitely agree. There are things they can do better.
So, like, obviously you want to have that kind of stuff. He wants weak auras? Yes. Oh, I think weak auras are good in certain circumstances. And this is the problem, right? Is that weak auras add a lot of functionality into WoW that does improve the experience of players in a positive way. The issue is that, and this is kind of why Final Fantasy doesn't allow any of them, and why WoW just allows all of them. Almost no game has some sort of, like half and half thing where like some are okay and others aren't. It's because it's impossible to balance.
my buffs apart from other people's buffs,
Yeah.
and you can't. And you can't do that.
Yeah, these are
without
UI
increasing the
improvements.
size of like all the buffs. Like I only want certain buffs. I wish you could pick
Totally
and
fair.
choose. Also, the text, it's like this like pale green, and sometimes it's hard to see. I mean, what does it matter
Yes,
if I need
that's
glasses or
true.
not? Are you saying that like if someone needs glasses that they're just shit out of luck? That's basically what you're saying. Just never
Yeah.
type again. Just never type it. Just never type again. It's like little stuff like that, man, that I want to change. But my point is like with mods and stuff, you can do that. That kind of stuff I think is huge.
I agree. I absolutely
Yeah,
agree. And I think the thing is, it's like, I don't know. Like it's hard to say because it's like from a streamer perspective, it's obviously an issue. Because if you weren't streaming Xenos, you could do whatever mod you wanted. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't have to worry about anything. The only reason it's even an issue and being brought up and talked about by you at least, and maybe others, is because if you stream it, you can get banned for it, which sucks. Like, I agree. But as someone who doesn't stream it, and maybe I will later, but I doubt it because I feel like I'm kind of boring just playing MMOs because I usually do like crafting stuff, if I'm going to be honest, or like I'm leveling. So, like I like leveling alts in my MMOs. So, not exactly the most riveting stuff. But as someone who doesn't stream it, like it's not an issue. Like I've played with all kinds of mods. Nothing crazy, but I've never been banned for it.
Totally agree. I think that they could do a lot more to improve the UI of the game.
Absolutely.
And just in general, improve.
I mean, there's so many things they can improve on that, to me, the UI isn't like the biggest issue. But it seems like that would be the easiest thing they can improve. That would just be a universal W.
The dated nature of the way the game looks. I'm very excited to see what they're going to do. I think it's in 7.0 where they're going to be doing a lot of updates to like the UI and also to the
Hopefully.
what do you really call it?
Like I said, I don't think there's much they can do with the UI. I mean, yeah, that's the wrong way to say it. In terms of the visuals of the UI, like its dated looks, I mean, is the UI looking prettier going to be a game changer? I personally don't care. Like it just doesn't bother me. But things like what Xenos was talking about, where you can kind of adjust like the sizes of buffs, maybe say you want your buffs to be bigger, or maybe buffs as they are closer to running out become bigger and bigger, I think would be pretty cool. But stuff like that I would much prefer than just making it look nicer, because I just don't care that much.
To like the graphics of the game, like the fidelity. So yeah, if they can do that and like actually make the game look as good as, I mean, it doesn't have to look as good as Final Fantasy 16, right? It doesn't have to look that good. But I
It
do
would be
think that
nice.
Final Fantasy looks uniquely dated.
I think it's because I actually don't agree. Maybe because I play Final Fantasy games outside of Final Fantasy 14, while I don't think Asmon does. But I don't think it looks that bad for a Final Fantasy game. Um, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look as good as like the new Final Fantasy games, but maybe because I also played Final Fantasy 11, which I think is still going around, and that looks dated. Like you're talking about a dated game, that definitely looks dated. But I don't think Final Fantasy 14 looks that dated for an MMO. I'm trying to like conceptualize this because it's like do I agree it looks dated? I actually do, but would are the graphics so dated that it's a negative? Is really what I'm kind of looking at, and I don't think so. Like I don't think most people who play the game were like, "Oh, this game looks really dated. I'm not going to play." I'm pretty sure most people who have a complaint on the like look of the game is that it looks like in a weeb game. You know what I mean? A Japanese game. So to me, I don't think them having better graphics is going to change that in people's eyes. You know what I mean?
Graphics engine, etc. Yeah, I would love to see it improved.
Oh yeah.
Final Fantasy 16 uses the same engine. They can change the graphics to 14. Oh, I'm not. Look, all
I think like that's both true and false. Just because you're using the same engine though does not mean that you can have everything look the same. One's an MMO, the other's a single player. One has pre-existing code they have to build upon, while the other is no. Like that's not the case. So that's I don't know enough about coding, but I know a little bit, and I would assume working off a pre-existing code is way fucking harder than having you being able to work from the ground up with it.
I'm saying is that I think that it would look great if they did that. I have
Yeah.
no idea. MMOs are not graphically impressive by default. Yeah, but
BDO is.
I'm not comparing Final Fantasy 14 to something like I literally explicitly did not compare it to something like Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, but like you compared it to WoW, but then compare WoW to BDO, and WoW looks like shit too. So I don't think you should be comparing games in terms of graphics, because by that logic, BDO should be like one of the top games. And to me, at least, the graphics are not the reason why I liked BDO. I thought the graphics were really nice, but I just don't care too much. The gameplay is what I cared about with BDO. If it didn't have the gameplay, I would not even have bothered with BDO at all.
I'm comparing it to other MMOs. Guaranteed there'll be a graphics update. Yeah, I really hope that happens. We'll see what it is or when that's going to be, but
Yeah.
I have no idea. Hopefully it
I mean, they can definitely increase the graphics because there's add-ons that do it. So
does happen. Obviously, it's disappointing to see people cheating, but guys, it's just really no surprise, especially now that the Final Fantasy Race to World First has gotten really popular. And because it's gotten so
yeah,
popular, you're going to have people that feel like they're compelled to cheat because there's more notoriety involved with it and there's more abilities. People can get more out of cheating. It's just that simple. If you put
that's
a
true.
reward behind something, you are going to, incentivize people to cheat.
And I think that makes sense on why Square Enix was so strict this time, because the amount of eyes on this world first race was way more than previous ones. Just because I think Final Fantasy has grown a lot more since, especially probably because of WoW. But yeah, no, I think it makes sense on why they had to really put the foot down, and I think it's going to go even further. Like if people cheat on the next world race, I have no doubt they might get their stuff removed and bans involved. So I mean, it sucks to see, but it is good to see that Square Enix actually stepped up and did shit about it. Like they didn't just be like, "Well, you shouldn't cheat, and we're not going to do anything." You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what cheating actually looks like in Final Fantasy 14. I think this went on a weird like tangent in a sense. It went from cheating to like what could the game do to make it look better or be better through add-ons, or what add-ons have brought to games in a sense. So interesting though.